Hello everyone. Today we will continue to talk about the Eucharist. I want to tell you a very beautiful story that helps us understand what this sacrament means for Catholics. Once upon a time there was a girl who was preparing to receive her first communion. Her parents had doubts and wondered if she really understood what she was about to do. To find out, the priest asked her a simple but very profound question. What did she understand about the Eucharist? The girl, with all sincerity and wisdom beyond her age, she pointed to the large crucifix that stood on the altar of the church, and she said something that captured what Catholics believe about the Eucharist. She said, "That looks like Jesus, but it's not. The Eucharist doesn't look like Jesus, but it is Jesus." Although the bread and wine used in the Eucharist may not physically resemble Jesus, Jesus is actually there in a special way, with his true presence. Let's see what the Catechism says. Throughout the centuries and in different ecclesial traditions, Christians have used various expressions to describe this sacred sacrament, precisely because of its immensity. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, in Numbers 1328 to 1332, lists some of these names and offers us a key to understanding them. We should not consider them as contradictory or conflicting visions, but rather as terms that complementarily evoke the various aspects of the Eucharist. The names come from its Jewish roots and the aspects it evokes. They have been used in liturgy throughout the centuries. Allow a deeper understanding of the sacrament. The word Eucharist derives from the Greek and means thanksgiving. This term is taken directly from the Last Supper, where Jesus, following the Jewish tradition of blessing, pronounced thanksgiving. The name Feast of the Lord refers to the Last Supper of Jesus and reminds us of the anticipation of the glorious wedding banquet of the Lamb, as recounted in the book of Revelation. This name evokes the richness and fullness of the Eucharist, where we encounter the living and real presence of Christ. The name fraction of the bread alludes to the gesture used by Jesus in several scenes of the Gospel. The first Christians used this term to refer to the Eucharistic rite. This name reminds us of the connection with the Last Supper and the importance of breaking bread as a symbolic act. The name Eucharistic Assembly is due to the collective and communal nature of the celebration of the Eucharist. It highlights the gathering of believers to participate together in this sacrament. It is a reminder that the Eucharist is not lived in isolation, but in community. The name memorial and holy sacrifice, along with its variants, is due to the fact that the Eucharist actualizes the sacrifice of Jesus on Calvary. This name invites us to recognize that the Eucharist is a living memorial and a holy sacrifice. The name Holy in Divine Liturgy reflects that the Eucharist is the heart of the entire life of the Church. His condensation of ecclesial life in itself also stands out. This idea is reflected in other names such as Blessed Sacrament and the Holy Mysteries. Knowing this, what would be our purposes to move forward? I propose to you active participation in the Mass, reflect on the meaning of the Eucharist, living charity and service, cultivate a life of prayer, bear witness to our faith. Until next time.